Today we are going to talk about terror and terrorism, how to spot a terrorist, and how to deal with them. Did I mention the words terror, terrorism and terrorist? The network wants us to say it 20 times each hour to scare the hell out of people. With us is our special guest Red Necky, Head of Security for the Correction Corporation of America, a privately owned corporation that makes profit by giving kickbacks to local law enforcement agencies to fill their prisons with as many guilty or innocent people as possible. Welcome, Red. Tell us why you took that job in the first place.
Well, it sure beats working at Starbucks. You can either whoop cream and sugar, or whoop some donkey ass, so which would you rather do on a Tuesday afternoon?
Oh lordy, ain't that the truth? So tell us some of the ways we can spot a real terrorist in this day and age of fear-mongering, propaganda and television media mind-controlling of citizens perpetrated by the world governments.
This subject is a very gray area, so we prefer to deal with it in black and white. Inside law enforcement joke? Luckily we have the Department of Homeland Security and the American version of Adolf Hitler's Patriot Act to use as guidelines to help us incarcerate the sort of high numbers of people we need to keep food on our ignorant brainwashed tables.
Red, why prison? Couldn't we just put HIV virus strands inside every Muslim's vaccine shots like we did to the Africans?
Well, we tried with the swine flu hoax, but not enough people were stupid enough to fall for that scam. But seriously, what kind of profit would that generate? You can look to television for guidelines. Let's see. Most terrorists have dark skin, wear bright-colored clothing or towels and sheets wrapped around their bodies, have strange names you can pronounce and talk a little funny or different.
But Red, doesn't that describe most of the cast of The Cosby Show?
Yes, it does. And the Cosby actors know we are watching them too. But you can also look for people who look and act like your favorite TV terrorists like Saeed on Lost, or even the cast of actors on 24 whose names you don't know, or even that left-handed guy Tim Osman who works for the CIA but uses his right hand on media clips of him in his alleged cave complex which only the media can seem to find but not the military. His family owns the Carlyle Group with the Bush family. Terrorists may also look like normal people but with a tendency to say things like kookly gikely fucking clay coo.
The Department of Homeland Security and Hitler's Patriot Act don't just draw the line there though, do they?
No sir, they do not. They seem to exempt from prosecution all white Wall Street bankers, white-collar criminals with Freemason ties, members of the Bilderberg Group, Trilateral Commission, Club of Rome, the Vatican, presidents, congressmen, the Round Table and corporate media, and the black military-industrial complex as well as CEOs from banking and industry.
So who can be prosecuted as a terrorist, Red?
Well, not any of the real terrorists as I mentioned before. It is a new area since no terrorist acts have ever been committed in the United States that weren't directly funded or helped by the CIA and the New World Order. But basically anyone who doesn't like their freedom being taken away from them is a threat to the tyrannical rule under the New World Order, so of course they would be deemed terrorists and unpatriotic. Christians, Muslims, Jews, whites, blacks, poor, middle class, blue collar, white collar. Basically any person with a pulse whose family is not inbred with the ruling bloodlines.
What about the wealthy elite, Zionists and Freemasons?
Ha 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 ha.
Ha 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 ha. Well, that's all the time we have today. May your prisons and pockets be full, and your family safe from the evil of strangers. Remember, if you don't know somebody, don't bother. Just fear them and turn them into a privately owned law enforcement agency. It is better to fear than to find out the truth. Kookly fucking clack li coo.